First, something for Flatzoid to think about. The distance between any two places along the equator between two longitudes is longer than north or south of the equator between the same longitudes. Why is that, Flatzoid?
Okay, let's put it this way. If I had to take a pillowcase and I started shoving feathers into it, you would agree the more feathers I'm shoving into that pillow, the heavier it's going to get.
Yeah, it would have to be a lot, but yes, it would get heavier.
So more substance, there's more stuff in the pillowcase to make it heavier.
That's more, yeah.
Okay. And because it's heavier, would it require more force for me to pick that pillowcase up now that it's full of feathers, where before I fold it up, it would take less force to pick it up?
It would require more force, yes, it would.
Great. So you would agree I used the force to accelerate that pillow when I picked it up.
Yeah.
Your gravity is saying there is no force. The pillow just picks it up on its own.
No.
Yes. Your gravity is saying there is no force. The pillow just picks it up on its own.
Yeah.
But now the issue comes in, are you claiming gas has weight?
Gas would have weight, yeah.
How would you know gas has weight?
Scuba tanks weigh more when they're full of gas.
Wouldn't it have to be static to be able to weigh it?
Scuba tanks weigh more when they're full.
Yeah, but that's contained. You have to calculate the weight.
No, we can measure it.
Then, but you can't weigh gas on its own, can you? It's unbonded.
Well, I'd say probably not. Nah.
Okay, Luch, do you know what happens to gas when it's compressed?
What happens?
It changes phases. It's no longer a gas.
He was talking about scuba tanks. Flatzoid, is air in scuba tanks still a gas? Why did you let this non sequitur and deflection occur when you know the truth?
And I want to ask, I also want to ask Wally quickly, when they fill up that gas canister, what happens with pressure if you compress gas? It becomes liquid, correct?
Yeah.
Is liquid denser than air?
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Great. I don't know if you've ever taken a gas canister after it's filled up, a scuba tank, and shook it. You can actually hear how it goes.
So I made a comment about it for him, and he read it and approved it. Wow, didn't see that coming, did he? Now that Flatzoid has confirmed that mass is added, and that mass is air, and that air is in vapor phase, as you cannot compress air into a liquid at room temperature. It needs to be cooled way below the critical temperature for oxygen and nitrogen.
When you're compressing it, it's no longer a gas when you do that, right?
I'd imagine it would be, wouldn't it?
No.
No?
Like okay, for example, propane. Why do they call it liquid propane? It's a gas. How is it liquid? It's because it's compressed.
Butane
right?
compressed is liquid. Yeah.
By proxy, by default, when you're bringing up a container, as you're putting it, with gas in to weigh it, you are by default conceding then gas requires containment to be able to exist as pressure.
It will. The argument was gas having weight, which it does.
But if it had weight, would you need a closed container?
To be able to measure it properly, yeah. I'd imagine.
So why would you need a closed container if gas had weight being pulled down by gravity, especially if it's claimed to be stronger, closer to the Earth?
Yeah.
It's very hard to weigh gas when it's not in a container?
Yeah, because gas
Yeah.
requires containment. That's the whole argument.
No.
Yes.
So let's get this straight. You can weigh gas, but it needs to be in a closed container. You claim a closed container, therefore gas still has weight. Even according to your own bullshit.
Okay, I found the video. I'm going to quickly show it to you. And I want you to listen quickly what is being said, okay?
Okay.
So the pressurized atmosphere is kept there by gravity, as I said multiple times. So
Hi, I'm Emerald Robinson, and in this What Is video, we're going to investigate the state of matter called a gas. Gases are materials that have no definite volume and no specific shape.
your whole idea of, Mark has no answer. I do have an answer. The sphere is kept there by gravity.
Third, gases can flow from one area to another. Although the direction of flow is not directly affected by gravity.
The sphere is kept there by gravity.
Although the direction of flow is not directly affected by gravity.
Gravity.
Although the direction of flow is not directly affected by gravity.
Did you hear that? What did he say about the direction of flow affected by gravity, Luch?
It's not affected by gravity?
Yeah.
Huh.
Weird.
Fluids, liquids and gases. Liquids and gases are called fluids because they can be made to flow or move. In any fluid, the molecules themselves are in constant random motion, colliding with each other and the walls of any container. So in any fluid, that would be liquids too, the molecules themselves are in constant random motion. So what? They don't have weight either. They're not affected by gravity either.
Wind is gas. Did you know that? Just moving gas.
Well, wind is like, what is wind? Do you know what causes
Moving gas.
Yeah, it's just high pressure moving to low pressure, isn't it?
High pressure moving to low pressure is wind. Absolutely. So if we have high pressure down here and low pressure up there, why do we not have a constant upwards wind? Why is the high pressure down here not moving to the low pressure up there? Perhaps there is something that is stopping that in the vertical direction.
That's all
Gases
you
have no
need to know.
definite volume. What do you need to have mass?
Hang on, let's address
You
that.
need
Gases do have mass. We agreed on that before.
Was Flatzoid just about to say that gas doesn't have mass and Sleeping Warrior had to correct him?
You don't have any
But they don't have
acceleration due to gravity, right? Gravity is not
Nope.
a force, and even if it was, gas molecules are not affected by it. So you can't
Exactly.
satisfy by mathematical application. You can't satisfy the definition for weight.
Since when do flat earthers care about maths?
Exactly. Because it's going to consist on what size container you got and how much of that substance you're putting in there.
So if I was to weigh water or any other liquid, depending on the size of the container and how much substance I put in there, also depends on what weight it is. So your point for gas doesn't hold, Flats.
So that's why I
So-
say it's volumetric weight. It's not gas weight.
Expands into a vacuum, right?
Yeah, pressure into a low pressure. Yeah.
Or area with no resistance.
Yeah. Apart from in your special pleadings example where you believe that the Earth exists in a vacuum but doesn't press into it, with the exception of that special pleadings fallacy, gas
Well,
always
actually-
presses into low pressure.
Well, actually, we say low pressure system.
Yeah,
It-
which is
like
what
if
wind
we
is.
say
We
an
see that all the time.
Yet we don't see wind in the upwards direction all the time. And yet it's high pressure down here and low pressure up there. So it's not special pleading, is it? It's reality.
We don't say vacuum. We say a low pressure system.
Oh, so it's an unbalanced force. Like relative density disequilibrium.
Well, relative density doesn't really have a vector.
Yes, it does. Relative density disequilibrium does have a vector. You know if it's going up or down. Definitely.
No.
Yes.
Yet when you have a container with a liquid in and say two solids in, say one less dense than the medium and one more dense than the medium, and you let it go as one was rising and one was sinking, they stay in the exact same place, don't they, Flatzoid? What happened to that, whether it's going up or down vector within the bottle, within its relative density disequilibrium? Oh, right, it's falling, right? So therefore it doesn't count for some magical reason because it's accelerating, and for some reason impulse, right? And, you know, the net force is then zero, right? Because relative density disequilibrium is somehow negated and the net force is zero because it's accelerating. Yet if we do the exact same thing but accelerate it upwards, the relative density disequilibrium, the more dense down, the less dense up, still works, doesn't it? So why doesn't it in the downwards direction, Flatzoid?